Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, has granted rapper NBA YoungBoy a full pardon. And to celebrate the momentous gesture, NBA YoungBoy took to social media to say this: "I want to thank President Trump for granting me a pardon and giving me the opportunity to keep building as a man, as a father, and as an artist. This moment means a lot. It opens the door to a future I've worked hard for, and I am fully prepared to step into this. Big thanks to the pardon czar, Miss Alice Marie Johnson, for fighting for second chances for so many people, and to my lawyer, Brittany K. Barnett, for being in my corner and all your hard work to make this possible. And thank you to everyone who believed in me. I'm grateful, I'm focused, I'm ready. Kentrail." All right, fam, anybody got a problem with it? Give me a thumbs up if you don't have a problem with it. Thumbs up if you say, "Nah, man, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe." I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. My thoughts. Well, first of all, congratulations to NBA YoungBoy. I think it's good for him, personally. And it's also good for his kids because it gives him a genuine chance to continue to provide for his kids. It also gives him a chance to rebuild his career and to reintegrate into society without having the stigma of a felony record just following you for the rest of your days. So that's big. But here's why Trump don't deserve any praise. His pardon record overwhelmingly benefits his political allies. I don't know about you, but for me, that fuels doubt that his choices stem from principle rather than personal or partisan gain. And furthermore, Trump's divisive policies and erratic behavior, his erratic leadership, makes any act of mercy an inadequate reason to laud his tenure. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. No siree, no. I'm feeling like some people are feeling with these pardons. He's trying to set it up so that he can pardon Derek Chauvin. That's right, I said it. He really wants to pardon Derek Chauvin. He's just trying to figure out his team. He's talking to his team, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to run the play. At the end of the day, they're not really sophisticated, so they're going to just bulldoze their way through it. They're just going to say, "You know what, I'm just going to pardon them and let the chips fall where they may." What they going to do about it, right? But if he does pardon Derek Chauvin, which I think there's a very good chance he will, Derek Chauvin still ain't going home because he owes the state of Minnesota 22 and a half more years. Well, not 22 and a half more years, but he owes the state of Minnesota 22 and a half years. So he still got to do that time on a state level, even if Trump does pardon him. But just the fact that he would pardon somebody that caused so much division, somebody that is the catalyst for the riots that kicked off in this country and worldwide. So much property damage, so much pain, I mean, to let a dude like that go, what does that say to other would-be Chauvins? Put money on somebody's neck, and you know he gonna get paid when he get out. Because the uncivilized mutts, they have an uncivilized mutt fund. Yeah, you can go out there and do something racist and get rewarded. The more vile you are, the more money you get. Yeah. The uncivilized mutts have been showing their rear ends, just like their grandpappies and grandmammies did. Yeah, uncivilized mutts. They can't tell me nothing about loving God or believing in God when they behave like that. I'm not even convinced that they have human DNA. Yeah, because it takes uncivilized mutts to do something like that and to support something like that. Trump plays the symbolic game because he cannot win in the substantive game. It's nothing to stroke your signature across a piece of paper to pardon someone or to commute a sentence or to sick your goons on someone who looks like they don't belong in the country. It's a whole different thing when you start talking about real policy, right? That requires critical thinking. How you gonna bring those egg prices down? The price of gasoline, how you gonna bring it down? How are you going to improve international trade relations with our so-called allies? That requires critical thinking. And if you look at what he's done in his prior term, and if you look at where he is right now in his current term, anything that required critical thinking, if you look at how Trump moves on policy, he just throws stuff up against the wall and see what sticks. You know, there was a time that I thought maybe, just maybe, we're going to get over this racial hump. You know, it's never going to just go away because, you know, uncivilized mutts are here to stay. I get it. But I just thought maybe, you know, those who were in the 60s, they're dying off. You know, they're dying. Good thing, right? They're dying. But they instilled it in their children. And their children continued to pass down their demonic legacy. And it continues. That's why even to this day, you see some of them as young as 4 or 5 years old practicing racism. Remember the little white dude that went to the black people's house and was like beating on the door, like, come on out here, come on out, ooh, ooh, ooh. He had a whip, remember that? And then you had the little white girl in the UK who was talking to her mother, and they were talking about home burglary. And the little girl just said, hey, a black man did it. You know, they were talking about who they would blame if somebody broke into something. And, you know, the mother had trained her to say, a black man did it. Yeah, they're trained. They're trained. They're indoctrinated. This is why I am going to keep my foot on their necks. So don't come over here trying to use them little deflection and defense mechanisms that you use. Don't try that with me. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, I got you. I'm not going to be silent so you can be comfortable. And I'm not fooled by your God. I'm not fooled by his gestures. He always has an ulterior motive. I want to find out what it is. I'm going to bring it to you live and direct. No more talk.